Hello pilots and welcome to the list preview for Flight Academy Season 4, brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and as I said, we are going to go through the 9-player list for Flight Academy Season 4, getting you ready for next week when all of the action starts. This season we're doing a round robin with 9 players with a top cut at the end with 2 semis and a final. Each player is actually bringing 2 ships this time, and a slight variation on previous, so they've got 10 points to spend on 2 small base ships, with the only restriction being no ion cannon turrets, because we saw just how brutal they were in Season 3. So let's crack straight on in with those lists. So, as we said, our first pilot is Andy, coming back from Season 3 after his successful adventures with the Resistance so far. He's gone to the opposite end of the saga, and he is running 2 Naboo Starfighters with Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala. Both ships have the same loadout with elusive, fire control system, R3 Asterek for those double locks, which I think is going to be key in this season, and the proton torpedoes for that big hard hit. Obviously, Anakin Skywalker's ability, before you reveal your maneuver, you may spend 1 force to barrel, and this is not an action, so he can just keep spinning all day. We've also got Padme. While an enemy ship in your forward arc defends or performs an attack, that ship can only modify, only 1 focus result. Other results can still be modified though, so they can target lock, but they can only modify 1 focus. And the ship has the full throttle. After you fully execute a speed 3 to 5 maneuver, you may perform an evade action. So it's going to be interesting to see how these 2 Naboo Starfighters do. We have seen the N1s in Season 2, but will they fare better as a pair? We shall see. Next up, he's always going to be here for Flight Academy, to be honest. It's Ben, and he is doubling down on his Season 3 list with Quick Draw and Midnight from the First Order faction. He's decided that he wants to go for that initiative bid across the board. Quick Draw is running Elusive, Pattern Analyzer, Fire Control System, Proud Tradition, Special Forces Gunner, and the Shield upgrade. Really trying to unlock her ability there in that TIE SF. And Midnight in the TIFO is running Fanatical, Magpulse Warheads, Proud Tradition, and Shield upgrade. So just a reminder, Quick Draw, when she loses the shield, she can spend a charge to do a bonus attack. And Midnight, when Midnight locks you, you can't modify your dice. Shuts you right down, so very frustrating. Probably the most interesting card on here though is Proud Tradition. So set up, equip this side face up. While you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you may perform focus actions even while stressed. After you perform an attack, if you are stressed, the defender may spend 1 focus token or suffer 1 crit damage to flip this card, which then turns it to False Tradition. Treat your focus actions as red. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for that. Will anyone trigger the red focus on there? That could be kind of brutal for these 2 ships. Another returning player for Season 4, we've got Connor, and he is flying a Rebel list of 2 B-Wings. That's a lot of health and a lot of chunk there. He is going for the Stress Boys themselves with Braylon Stram and 10 Numb. Braylon has stabilized S-foils, marksmanship, fire control system, auto blasters, and the jamming beam. 10 Numb also stabilized S-foils, marksmanship, fire control system, auto blasters, jamming beam, and the ion torpedoes. Connor never really leaves home with unless he's got some ion with him. Obviously, these 2 are going to be quite an interesting prospect in this, with the stabilized S-foils essentially allowing them to double tap if they have a lock on you. So after you perform an attack, you may spend your lock on the defender to perform a bonus cannon attack against that ship using a cannon upgrade you have not attacked with this turn. Now that is going to be really powerful. It also gives them the white barrel roll to target lock to help trigger that. And their abilities. While you defend or perform an attack, if you're stressed, you may reroll up to 2 of your dice for Brain and Stram. Loving the stress. 10 Numb, arguably the best B-Wing in the game. While you defend or perform an attack, you may spend 1 stress token to change all of your focus results to evades or hits. So expect them to be twisting and turning and stressing themselves across the board to cause a lot of damage to their opponent. Now we have an Empire list brought to us by Fraser. He is running 2 TIE Interceptors. Oh, beautiful. He's got Volt Skerris and the Second Sister. Volt just has Duke. He's only got a 6-point loadout, but you know what? That can still be pretty good. Second Sister, such a good pilot with extreme maneuvers, proton rockets, and a Deadeye shot. So, Second Sister, obviously from the new Hot Shots and Aces 2-pack, while you perform an attack after the neutralize result steps, if the attack hit, you may spend 2 force. If you do, change all of your hit results to crit results, which with a proton rocket is absolutely ridiculous. Love that ability, it's just so good. Volt Skerris, his ability, action, gain 1 strain token to recover 1 charge. Before you engage, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action. So if you know you're in a really good position or you want just to get a little bit further in, you can boost or you can get that evade to really unlock that Duke. Fraser, this is only a 9-point list, so he is giving up a point, so he's setting himself a little bit of an extra challenge here because we are doing 2.5 scoring with a 10-point build list. But with 2 really good interceptors, he can hopefully get around that. And we have a newcomer to Flight Academy. Not just a newcomer to Flight Academy, a newcomer to X-Wing. These are his first actual games against actual opponents. So fair play to Josh for really just saying, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to have the best challenge that I can to really get used to this. And he is flying a Scum list for us. He's got Captain Jostera in the Kirax fighter with hull upgrade, Dead Man switch, because why not, and ion missiles. Also, the return of Cavill in the Y-Wing with hull upgrade and dorsal turret, marksmanships, cluster mines, and also that Dead Man switch, which is just brilliant. Cavill we may remember from Season 2 when Duncan flew into great effect. While you perform a non-forward arc attack, roll 1 additional attack die, which is going to be absolutely hilarious if he can get within range 1 of that dorsal turret. That's a 4 dice shot there. And Captain Jostera, interesting ability here. After an enemy ship suffers damage, if it is not defending, you may perform a bonus attack against that ship. So that could be from Dead Man switch triggering, cluster mines, it could be from going over an obstacle, maybe they've got electronic baffles on there, but if they're not defending, possibly they've got structural damage and a strain so they don't have it, Jostera will be able to get a bonus shot, and hopefully, if that does kick in, he will actually have a shot. But good luck, Josh. Well played, my friend, for jumping straight into X-Wing into something as crazy as Flight Academy. Next up, we have Madbots making a return to the Republic faction with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Shaak-Ti in the Eta 2 Actis. He's really also taken advantage of the fact that this is extended format, as he's got auto blasters and stealth device on both those Eta 2s. That's going to make it a challenging prospect to get past all of those evade dice, and with the auto blasters, that is a very big gun that is stuck to that very small chassis. So both have auto blasters and stealth device. Shaak-Ti also has patience and marksmanship. Shaak-Ti's ability is going to be really good here. At the start of the end phase, you may spend any number of force to choose that many friendly ships. At range 0 to 2, each chosen ship does not remove 1 focus or evade token during the end phase. So that could be really good to set up some cool shenanigans in the next turn. And Obi-Wan's ability, after you are a friendly Anakin Skywalker ship at range 0 to 3, executes a maneuver. If there are more enemy ships than other friendly ships at range 0 to 1 of that ship, you may spend 1 force. If you do, that ship gains 1 focus token. So, not going to be helpful for Shaak Ti, but if flying these in a flanking maneuver so they're not together, that could be quite handy for Obi-Wan as well. So we'll just have to see how these Eta 2s work. We've seen them do really well in the past, so a combination of them could be quite tough. And another returning player, it's myself. I had such a good time in Season 3, I thought I'd actually give it a go in Season 4 with the new builds. And I've opted for Republic as well. They're making a very healthy showing in Season 4. I've gone with 2 Delta 7s with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Adi Gallia from the Hot Shots and Aces 2 pack. Obi-Wan Kenobi's ability is going to be quite good here. After a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 spends a focus token, you may spend 1 force. If you do, that ship gains a focus token, so that could be quite handy. And Adi Gallia has got a really cool ability. While you defend an attack at range 1, you may spend 1 force. If you do, the attacker cannot apply the range bonus. When you perform an attack against a defender at attack range 3, you may spend a force. If you do, the defender cannot apply that range bonus. So that's going to be quite interesting. The ships are loaded out quite well as well. Obi-Wan Kenobi has brilliant evasion, heightened perception, R3 astromech for the double target lock, marksmanship and calibrated laser targeting. And Adi Gallia, we've gone with foresight, elusive, R3 astromech and calibrated laser targeting. So a good bit of defense, a good bit of offense, and an always fun heightened perception there, which, you know, could be key to stopping some very crucial shots coming in at Obi-Wan later in one of the rounds. Now, Scott is also returning for Season 4, and he is part of only 2 people that have actually got the same ships, different pilots on them, but Scott is running a double B-Wing as well. He has Tendum and Gina Moonsong. Ten has proton cannons, trajectory simulator, ion bombs, and the stabilized S-foils, and Gina is running jamming beam, tractor beam, trajectory simulator, marksmanship, ion bombs, and the stabilized S-foils. Gina's ability is going to work really well with Tendum here. At the start of the engagement phase, you must transfer one of your stress tokens to another friendly ship at range 0 to 2. So, meaning that he doesn't have to deliberately stress Tendum there, which is going to be quite handy. Obviously, with Tendum spending those stress, even if he is stressed and takes another one, that's still going to be good for an offense and defense combo. So, again, 2 more ships that are going to be quite bulky. The B-Wing face-off is going to be interesting as to whether it's Gina or Braylon that make the difference between these 2 lists. And rounding off the Season 4 roster, we of course have Wes coming back. Wes is always a great player to have on board, as you know that no matter what the result, he's always going to provide some great entertainment. And he's actually bringing along 2 TIE bombers. So we don't see these very often, so it's really nice to get them on the board. He's got Captain Jonas with cluster missiles, proton bombs, skilled bombardier and marksmanship, and Major Reimer with the proton torpedoes. These 2 have some really solid abilities that work quite well. So Jonas, while a friendly ship at range 0 to 1 performs a torpedo or missile attack, that ship may reroll up to 2 attack dice. That's going to be very powerful, especially for his cluster missiles and Reimer's proton torpedoes. And Reimer, while you perform a torpedo or missile attack, you may increase or decrease the range requirement by 1 to a limit of 0 to 3. So making those proton torpedoes even scarier and even more effective with that combination. Obviously no shields on there, but quite a lot of hull. So they're going to have to be careful about not trying to joust, but they've got some serious munitions, and it could be quite interesting to see exactly how well this plays off for those ships. And there we go, guys. 9 pilots, 18 ships. many, many games to go to find out who will be the champion of Season 4. It all starts next week, so do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click that notification bell to know when it comes up. But Flight Academy Season 4 is right around the corner, guys. So we will see you for that, and we will see you next time.